Donald Trump faces another primary challenger. Well, there are a lot of people who want to challenge Trump, and it's an odd thing for someone to try and challenge an incumbent president. They do 2 terms. It's an odd thing. There are a ton of people who are saying they want to run a primary against Trump, but most of them are, unfortunately, just not really, they don't really have anything behind them, so it's kind of just like a lot of random people here and there. But there are 2 people so far that are actually getting media consideration. First is Bill Weld. I believe it's Bill Weld, who was the Libertarian vice presidential candidate. I'll pull it up. We'll fact check this stuff. But the big story is Joe Walsh. Here's the funniest thing about Joe Walsh announcing a primary candidacy. And we'll read some of the story. The dude is so much worse than Trump in terms of like his rhetoric. Okay, here's the thing. Walsh has tweets that are seriously 10 times more offensive than anything Trump has ever said. You want to know what people are mad about? They say, oh, Trump says we have to institute a ban on, Muslims. And he said it, right? So I'm talking about the initial announcement where it says Donald Trump is calling for a complete and total shutdown of Muslims, blah, blah, blah. The actual ban that was implemented was 7 nations that weren't all Muslim, and it's a complicated thing, right? It's politics. But that's offensive to a lot of people. I get it, right? Trump is bombastic. He's offensive. Here's the thing. Trump makes a statement about something and people call it offensive. This dude, Joe Walsh, has literally tweeted a bunch of slurs and defended his use of the slurs and then decided it would be appropriate to announce a primary challenge to one of the most popular Republican presidents in decades, if not longer. I don't know. It's polling really, really high among Republicans. He thought he would launch this, leaving all of his tweets up. Here's the thing. I can't show you his tweets. I'm not kidding. I could get banned from YouTube for showing you the things this guy has tweeted. And I have no idea how he hasn't been banned from Twitter for saying some of the things he said. Now, there are a few tweets I can show you. Like, apparently last year, he referred to Obama as a Muslim. What? And there are people cheering him on the left. It's not like, I don't want to act like I've seen a ton, but I've seen a few high profile individuals saying like, this is a guy who knows how to play the game, can really take on Trump. I'm like, well, hold on, dude. If you're mad at Trump for tweeting, you got to be mad at this guy. Okay, well, let's read a little bit. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address. But of course, the best thing you can do, share the video. You guys have probably learned it by now. I get deranked along with all the other independent commentators and journalists. So if you like the work I do, please share. And I will stress this point too. I get deranked. I get demonetized. Basically every video demonetized. You know what? It sucks. So that's why I always say you can support me. But there are journalists who do on-the-ground work who are totally shut off the partner program because they cover real life. And real life is, dare I say it, offensive. Let's read a little bit about this. The New York Times, it's more of a, I'm going to say it. Based on the tweet history, I'm willing to bet this is a puff piece. Leaning like favoring the guy. Let's read. They say, Joe Walsh, a conservative radio show host and former Republican congressman from Illinois, is expected to announce he is running for president as early as this weekend. Presenting President Trump with a challenger from the right, his critics hope will weaken the president in the 2020 election. And historically, that is likely to be true. It's a really weird thing to do. And I imagine there are going to be a lot of angry Republicans. A lot of angry Republicans, because this is an attack that will only help Democrats. This guy can never win. They even say it. Mr. Walsh stands virtually no chance of wresting the Republican presidential nomination from Trump, whose approval rating with Republican voters is consistently in the high 80s, and whose political aides have been aggressively moving to tighten their control over state parties to thwart primary challenges. But those encouraging Mr. Walsh, a Tea Party conservative who served 1 term in the House and went from staunch Trump supporter to acerbic critic, hope he can appeal to reluctant Trump voters who are open to an alternative. It's a waste of time. However, I'm willing to bet Trump can pull more approval because of this. I seriously mean this. Now, I have a story. We'll jump over here. This is from Business Insider, where they say, no sitting president has survived a serious primary challenge in the past 50 years. Here's why Trump should be worried. I don't think so. I really don't. Trump is a different player. He changed the rules, and we know it. Trump is boisterous. He's boorish. He will insult. He will demean. He's not playing the same game. He's not playing a game you think. This might, and I will stress too, I was talking about this the other day, and again, like I would call Trump a great man. And I will preface this. Now, all of a sudden, the left is going to say, Tim just said Trump was great. No. Listen, great doesn't mean good. It means of tremendous power and force. Great as in like a tremendous person. You can rag on the guy all day and night. You can make fun of the way he talks. You can make fun of his hair. I don't care. That's fine. You can say whatever you want about the president. You can say Orange Man bad all day and night. But you still have to recognize this guy controls the press. He's got buildings with his name stamped on it. He did something right. Okay? He's worth billions of dollars. They argue he's not really worth. Oh, come on. I don't want to play that game. Dude, the guy's rich, and we know it. You insult him. I've criticized him for how his representation of American culture, but you have to recognize there's strength within what Trump is, who he is, and he's playing a game, and he's playing it well. If you think you can beat him, right? This is actually an old story, by the way. If you think you can beat Trump, listen, you've got to make sure you have done every bit of strategy planning. You know what you're doing. Otherwise, you will embolden him. This is the point I'm trying to make in referring to these like challenges from Joe Walsh. Let's look at this. Will Chamberlain tweeted, "Here's what I don't understand. It's 2019. Walsh Freedom has been talking with Bill Kristol and the rest of the Bulwark crowd about running for president. He's had an NYT op-ed. The news that he would run broke in the New York Times and no one told him to delete his old tweets." It's exactly what I'm talking about. These people don't understand the game they're playing. They are kids trying to play, Major League Baseball. You can call Trump dumb. I don't care. The proof is in the pudding. He is the president. It's funny to me how they say Trump's an idiot. Oh, he's so dumb. And I'm like, he's the president. You're not. And yes, there is inherent wealth, his inheritance. I don't want to argue whether it was enough or not enough. The point is he comes from a wealthy family. So he's above the average person class-wise. He's run successful businesses. Many of them. He's got his own bottled water. I don't know, whatever you want to say. But the dude wins. And whether or not you want to credit him or the people who worked with him, the team pulled it together. And then Walsh comes out thinking he's going to play this game and he's going to hurt Trump. You didn't even delete your old tweets. I can't show you the tweets he posted. In fact, see down here? I had to remove this image of his tweets that someone posted. They said, here's a gem on 420. I got to get rid of it. You know why? If I showed that tweet, I would get banned on YouTube. So you want to talk about how they're ragging on Trump for being offensive? Please, dude. This guy Walsh did not prepare himself for a real fight with Trump. And I don't know what you were thinking. This is going to help Trump in a lot of ways. It's going to show that even on the Republican side, those with Trump derangement syndrome are not prepared to take this man on. And it's going to, in my opinion, at least show some Republicans you are better off with Trump. This guy is going to run on a primary. I imagine the Republicans face-palming right now about how he didn't even monitor his Twitter account. That's the first thing you should do. We know the rules of the current outrage culture, and you didn't get rid of your old tweets? Now I think we're going to see Republicans saying, wow, if these are the best players to challenge Trump, you better be damn happy you've got him. Because Walsh is basically playing on par with the 2020 Democrats, a bunch of B-tier candidates. And I'm not trying to be dick because I do like Tulsi. I would give the exemption to Tulsi and Yang. But come on, admit it. We know a lot of these candidates are B-tier. And, Jay Inslee just dropped out. They are B-tier. And I'm not trying to be mean to them or disrespectful, but we know it. You're a senator. You're a congressman. You are not a president. And they want to rag on Trump, right? In 2016 saying he's a clown, he'll never win. And a lot of people could see it. I didn't believe he would win. Here's what I thought. I thought Trump could win, but I thought the establishment would never allow it. I thought that the system in place with the media and everything would never allow it. And hey, can't say they didn't try. But Trump still won. Trump has gravitas. That's a fact. And he had a team of smart people, and he won. Hillary couldn't beat him. Isn't that crazy? And so what do they say? The Electoral College, please. Look, outside of that, Hillary knew the rules. She knew the rules, same as Trump. They both were playing chess, and Trump won. And they say, it's not fair. Trump castled. He castled his rook. Well, that was one of the rules, yeah. Well, we should get rid of that rule. That's not fair. Well, you knew the rule beforehand. Trump won. Imagine, it takes me back to my old Pokemon playing days, back when I was like 13, 20 years ago. I'd be playing, and some kid would get really angry because I won, and he'd be like, that's not fair. I'd be like, I'm playing the same game you are, and I won. And I played by the rules. So here's what I see with the Walsh thing. It's possible it could hurt him, right? Because we have this old story from Business Insider that it's been bad for every president. But I will stress, he's not playing the same game. It's a different game with Trump. And the Democrats need to understand this. Everything we're seeing is weird. Okay? The Democrats have this massive field. No one's got strong support. It's weird. It is. I mean, pundits have talked about how strange it is. No one, like Obama hasn't even endorsed Biden, his vice president. And a primary challenge up against Trump is weird. Don't think you're going to know how to play this game, especially when we see this. Will Chamberlain said, apologies, have to update something. Previously, I said that Walsh Freedom had called Obama a Muslim as recently as 2016. That was factually inaccurate. He was doing it as late as 2018. My bad, folks. Look at this. Joe Walsh said, I have a right to pray to whatever God I want to pray to. I have a right to call Obama a Muslim and call Trump a thin-skinned egomaniac. So he was making a point, but I'm going to jump off this because there are some slurs. I got to say, I can't even show some of his worst tweets. So I'll stress this. Look, I don't care if Joe Walsh runs a primary. We got Bill Weld is going to launch a primary, I guess. I think it's going to be good for Trump. I do. And I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I could be wrong because I thought the Republicans were going to sweep the midterms. I was wrong. New data I've looked at in a newer story shows that Trump's base didn't vote for in the midterms. Most of them didn't go out and vote because a lot of his voters are new voters. They voted for him. They don't care about anything else. So they didn't vote in the midterms, and the Democrats were able to take the House. 2020 will be different. And Trump is playing a different game. Trump has changed the rules while you weren't paying attention. And if you think you're going to come at him in this way, I think all this does, when you contrast, and I mean no disrespect, seriously, to Bill Weld, but when you contrast Bill Weld to Trump, when you contrast Joe Walsh to Trump, it makes, in my opinion, some people will see Trump as the best choice and why they need to get behind him or lose. I think it's going to help him. I don't know, but again, I don't think I'm the smartest person in the world. The other story says every president who's hit this has been negatively impacted. They haven't survived it, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Stick around. A couple more segments coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.